zone! Touchdown Bulldogs!
The Dogs win the GLIAC tournament title.
Well, that's how you get it started right there.
I want to give the teams and athletes the freedom to be creative.
I think that's something we rally around as a team. We're out there no matter what the weather is.
We just do a good job of eating it up and using it to our advantage no matter what.
I got a lot of pride in being a Bulldog. I think it's awesome.
You're listening to Behind the Bulldogs, brought to you by Ferris State Athletics.
It's episode X here on Behind the Bulldogs. That means 10, everybody.
It's the big one.
Along in Roman numerals. Brandon Wirt, Joe Nagy with you here this afternoon. Got a great episode for you here, precursor to Thanksgiving. So shout out to all of you guys that are going home for Thanksgiving. Hopefully you eat all the turkey on the plate for this year. But we got a great episode, Joe. A couple Ferris State men's basketball players stopped by and got to learn more behind one of the best teams, it feels like, over the last 10 years in the GLIAC in the sport of basketball. So really cool.
Yeah, we had Ethan Erickson and Dolapo Olayinka stop by, which was a blast to talk to those two guys. We had a great conversation and very excited to get it to you. But before we get into the recap and the preview and everything in between, better subscribe or you're dead to me. All right?
Subscribe.
Better subscribe. We got Thanksgiving coming up. It's a great way to keep up on Bulldog Athletics. If you don't, like I said, get out of here.
Yes, so Joe playing bad cop, I'll play good cop. Please subscribe on all of our social media
Please
as well.
Clap.
Yeah, please make sure that you do that. YouTube, we're going to be dropping best bits over Thanksgiving. So
Love
if you
that.
want some content, it'll be dropping then, as well as all the episodes, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and WBRN.com, where you can follow along with all of that and the Big Rapids Radio Network. So very cool. But before we get into the banger interview, we're going to recap Ferris State Athletics from this past weekend. A lot of big wins, a couple, a little bit of tough losses, and a couple games in between. But Joe, we'll start, especially, feels like it's only fitting to start on the hardwood.
Basketball.
A huge win for Findlay.
Against Findlay, you mean?
Against Findlay. You know what I meant. Against
I know
Findlay.
what you mean.
Yeah, hard place to play, and we got the job done in a big fashion. 3-point win over Findlay, 80-77 in Croy Gymnasium. Huge for the program, in your words.
Yeah, that's pretty big time. Findlay's a team, too, that we see a lot. Postseason, early season, mid-season, it doesn't matter. They're always a team that is a tough win to battle it out, especially going there. It's a long road trip. Then to go in there, a hostile environment, and get the win, it's very, very cool to see. I mean, Bulldogs stay 4-0 on the season with that win as well. Pretty big performances from Ben Davidson picking up 17. Deshaun Munson got 12 as well. Dolapo picked up 13 off the bench. And some guys also, I think everybody got on the score sheet. So that's pretty cool to see. Everybody got the buckets filled up. But you really can't complain. Solid showing from the starters and the solid showing from the bench as well. So when you have that going for you, it's tough to lose.
Yeah, Findlay shot 54% from three-point range. We shot 27, and we still won this game. That's the sign of a good team right there. We absolutely battled. We beat them in the rebounding margin, and I think that's a really huge for the program, and especially you see like Owen Hardy was really big off the bench. He had 6 boards. She had a lot of guys distributing, and 3 guys with 4 assists, including Mari, Scholler, and Davidson. So that's certainly really good to see that distribution, and especially seeing the points spread out as well is really huge, but you still got the dominant scorers like Ben Davidson, as well as Dolapo was really good in this game. So that's really huge for the program, and a big win in a place that we don't normally have as much success as compared to others. So that's really huge for the program.
Yeah, I love it. Saying so nice, you say it thrice, is what they say.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, moving over now. It's time we talk championships. Volleyball clinches a GLIAC tournament title.
Huge for the program.
Behind enemy lines.
Yeah, that was also the best part about it. Getting a little bit of revenge as well, which is always so sweet. We lost to them at Grand Valley earlier on November 3. Only, 16 days prior to that one. And then able to flip the script and win that one 3-1 in the tournament championship. Only lost 1 set the entire tournament championship, keep in mind, which is pretty dang cool. And might I say, it's just very sweet, especially we'll get into football as well in that playoff game, but that loss and then being able to win against Grand Valley State for the GLIAC championship is pretty big time.
It was absolutely big time, and especially not only offensively, Olivia Henneman-Delapi led with 16 kills. How about Chelsea Freeman in that defense? Chelsea, 9 blocks by herself. That's normally an absurd team number. She had it individually, but that defense was absolutely locked down. That's something we talked about, that this team was really kind of missing over the last couple of years. They absolutely dominated this year defensively, and that's why they're champions. So leaders in digs, Bila as well as Claire Nowicki, both I believe with 15, 2 service aces as well for Nowicki, and Kaylee Mott, I believe Claire Nowicki also honored all tournament team as well. So congratulations. And to Olivia Henneman-Delape as well. Both of them all tournament team, but Nowicki, the most valuable player of the entire tournament. But it's huge for the program, continuing to win. Tia gets it done. It's just absolutely incredible to see this team continually dominate when the lights are on.
Yeah, that's what we love to see. And the team's still dancing as well, because the selection show went down Sunday. It's going to be a tough little region. We got Missouri St. Louis locked in the 1 seed. They were, 30-1?
Yeah, they lost one game, and it was a championship of their conference.
So that's going to be tough, not going to lie. We also got Grand Valley State on the other side as well. They locked up the 5 seed. We are the 2 seed. We'll be taking on Hillsdale, and then if we win that one, we'll take on against the winner of Lewis and Rockhurst. So some teams that we've seen before, and some teams who have been on a roll these past few weeks. So I'm excited to see how this playoff situation rolls around.
It's going to be fun. You can follow along FerrisStateBulldogs.com for all the volleyball action as well. Moving on over now into football.
Tough looks, man.
Falling to Grand Valley in the first round of the postseason, and it really feels like a somber ending for what we've really been just given a dream the last 2 years of being able to win over 10 games and bring home 2 trophies in McKinney, Texas. This year, not able to do that due to a first-round loss. Everything was against us. There's no question about it. Everything was against us. And we really fought to the very end. And especially, we got the onside kick. We had an opportunity to get a Hail Mary down the field, but just came up a little bit short. And Grand Valley's a really good team. You give their hats off to them for the work that they've done to be able to get over the hump and beat us twice. I think that's the first time they've ever done it in program history. So that just tells you to show how just an absolute rivalry that it's been between these two teams. But especially over this season, congrats to the guys. This was really kind of feels like a failure season, but it really wasn't. Just to make the playoffs is as hard enough when you got so many great teams at the Division II level. But these guys really did well. Obviously we would love to have a GLIAC championship, but certainly it was still a great season. So hats off to those guys. They really made it a lot of fun. It's been a privilege to cover them as well. And I've heard the environment at Grand Valley was definitely interesting. Won't go any further on that, but it is really hard to play in Lubbers. And I think at the end of the day, that's not necessarily something that you're going to completely put the loss on, but it's definitely an advantage for Grand Valley, and they took advantage of it when they could, especially this year. They knew they had a chance, and they did, and they're moving on next week.
Yeah, that's you gotta give credit where credit's due. They won a tough game, especially going into that one. Crazy theatrics at the end, not gonna lie. If you weren't watching it, we were down, 7-21. We ended up scoring to make it 14-21 with about 5 seconds left on the clock or something like that, right? And then we recover an onside kick, and then it was close. We're not able to capitalize on that one, unfortunately. But so it's a tough loss, but I think we did pretty solid. When I look at kind of the actual head-to-head of what was going on, we didn't really match a whole lot of it. We didn't have as many yards rushing, yards passing. We were basically dead even. But only 10 yards of total offense differential between us and Grand Valley. We were only down by 10, 261 to 271. So pretty much dead even the whole time. We just couldn't get past that red zone, I feel like. So unfortunate situation, but they are going to be playing Pitt State at Lubbers, and that's going to be a tough game. Don't know if they'll be able to get past that, because the Gorillas' defense is scary, scary good.
It's elite. It's going to be a good football game. We'll be very curious to see how that one turns out. Finishing out, hockey, really good overall weekend over at Houghton, splitting with the boys at the MAC. I think that was a really good game for a really good set of games for us. Really got on the bounce back, were able to push offensively, defensively, laid the woodwork. Logan Stein was awesome over this weekend, especially on Friday night. So big congratulations to them. And for women's basketball, a 30-point win last week against the Northwood Timberwolves. So really huge for the program to get their season on track. But
big time.
Gonna be huge. Anyway, that's going to do it. We're going to go to the interview room now with Ethan Erickson and Dolapo Olayinka. So without further ado,
let's swing into the interview. Now joining us in studio is Dolapo Olayinka and Ethan Erickson of the Ferris State men's basketball team. Fellas, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us, for sure.
Absolutely. And before we get into more of your guys' lives off the court, especially just talking about the start of the season, you guys 4-0, a couple big road victories already this season. Just talk about the start to the campaign and how it's really been like to get back into basketball form for this year.
Yeah, it kind of sucks. We had a bunch of road games in a row at first, besides Cleary, but it's nice to get all 3 of the road games as wins. So we're excited to get back Wednesday in the home crowd.
Yeah, absolutely. We definitely the Findlay game was a big one because it was a big regional game, and to get that this early is definitely a good thing. And we're just trying to keep that going.
And especially with it being early in the season, I mean, we talked a little bit about it, Thanksgiving plans and stuff before the pod, but what's that like to deal with holidays, especially Christmas later on in the season when you're a little bit away from family? What's that like dealing with both basketball and kind of family life?
For me, I'm pretty much used to it at this point. It's my 6th year in college, so I've been away from family for almost every season. So it's not nothing new to me. But I'm excited to get through this year and to see how far we can go, and then after that, I can go back to being a regular person again. So.
Yeah, being a NARP for the first time. Yeah, it's certainly a wild feeling. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for me, I only live around an hour away, so my parents come to mostly all the home games and usually all the road games too, if they're able to.
Yeah, for sure. And especially, me and you were talking about it a little bit before we started getting on the pod and setting up. I mean, you guys are a very experienced team. A lot of guys back, including you, Dolapo, for your 5th, even 6 years. Just talk about how that chemistry has been built, especially with a couple new guys as well on the team this year, and especially just with all the basketball that you guys have played amongst your group and how that's made you guys successful so far this year.
Yeah, like you said, we are a very experienced team. A lot of players are in the 5th, 6th, me, Jack, Ben, Vegas, a lot of us. So even Jack, like coming in, D and them coming in, like we know them before they even got here just because we've played against them or just seen them play. So I feel like that we all have the same goal, which is to win at the highest level possible. So we're just trying to see how far we can take this journey.
Yeah, I find it kind of crazy that I'm in my 3rd year and I'm still like the youngest one that gets in. Like, it just doesn't feel right.
Yeah, definitely not necessarily every program can say that. They got a 3rd-year guy is more of their underclassmen, but that just goes to show the program for sure.
What is it like kind of team dynamic-wise? Because you do have a healthy bit of guys who came just right from the start of the program. Then, Dolapo, you transferring in, Veas transferring in, Jack transferring in as well. What's that like when you have those guys come in for the first year? You have to build that type of relationship, and then now being able to just play basketball. What's that like kind of just from start to finish when those guys transfer in and hang out?
Yeah, I mean, I thought it should be pretty easy for them. I mean, they're all good people. They aren't selfish, anything like that, and they just want to win. And that's honestly the major part of why they came here.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, like D, Jack, me, Veas, like we've all played against Ferris before, and like we've just seen the atmosphere and like what it feels like to play them and like how hard it is to play them. So imagine being on that side now. That was our thought process for me specifically. So that's why I came here, and it's been a very good journey so far, and just trying to see how far we can go with it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and kind of getting more into off the court stuff. Of course, you guys have certainly brought a lot of energy in the building, and especially whether it's high flying dunks or 3-point shots, just lighting it up. Especially, what has been the best part about being able to play basketball in those big game environments in Wink, as well as just the experience of winning in the locker room and being able to share that with your guys?
It's been very good. I mean, from the school I went to before, it wasn't like we wasn't winning a lot at the time, and now it's like you lose a game. It's like it doesn't like. Back then I was in a way I was getting used to it, and now it's like you lose a game and like it hurts so much, and like because it doesn't happen a lot, and that's a great feeling. So I'm hoping that we don't lose any games, or if we do, it's not more than one. So I just hope that we have a great year.
Yeah, I think winning kind of brings the fans in, and the more you win, the more hype around your team you get, and that's just all the Big Rapids people usually come out for doing well. So. They bring it. Yeah, for sure. Is there a favorite memory or favorite game that you guys have had so far in your careers? Probably the Northern Michigan game when we came back from 14 points with 3 minutes left. That was a wild energy game. In the crowd was just unmatched. Yeah, that was nothing like a good game. Yeah, and that's against your former team, right, Dolapo? That one had to feel extra special. Absolutely, for sure. Absolutely. It was definitely a good feeling beating them. Trying to do it again multiple times this year. For sure. And this question is more specifically towards you, Dolapo. You mean you were injured a little bit last year for most of the season. What was that like to kind of
take a different role in supporting the team? I mean, you had the energy. You were a guy who a lot of people in the crowd was looking at even when you're on the bench. But what was that like to kind of switch it up and really support the guys just more on the bench role?
In a way, I was experienced with being injured because that last injury last year was my 4th in college. So I've had a lot of time just to sit around and just watch other people play and just support them. So, and like I learned a lot off just doing that and just being out and just watching. So I felt like last year I was able to just keep doing that and just support and just understand that it wasn't my turn at the time and I just had to be a team player, and I'm still doing that. I'm still learning on that. So it was an experience for sure, but I embraced it, and here we are. I'm as healthy as possible, and I'm trying to stay that way. I do a lot of stuff to try to stay that way. So hopefully, with God on my side, I can stay healthy all year.
Yeah, we're hoping so.
Absolutely, yeah. And for you, especially Ethan, I mean, when it comes to Ferris State basketball, nothing screams more Ferris State basketball like lighting it up from three-point range. And you've had the privilege of being able to be one of those guys and also play alongside even Ben Davidson this year and especially countless others before there. How has it really been from you going from Forest Hills and being able to go into the system and really just being able to shoot the rock, the lights out each and every night, it feels like?
I would say it just has to do with being confident. Like, most people can lose their confidence or stuff like that, and my teammates always just tell me to shoot it, so it definitely helps me a lot that they're telling me to shoot it and setting good screens to get me open and stuff like that.
All right. You have any?
That's what I'm here for, to set them screens.
Absolutely. Oh, for sure. Yeah. If you need tips for screen setting, that guy right there, Dolapo's got you covered. If there's any kids out there, Ethan, and they want to shoot the rock like you, what are you going to tell them as far as tips?
Just get on the shooting gun.
All day, every day? Mm-hmm. Okay, there you go.
Yeah, consistency, just quantity and stuff like that. Especially with the season coming up. I mean, you got McKendree the next game. It's kind of a healthy mix of home and away games, but when those road trips kind of come up where you might have 2 or 3 weeks in a row where you're on the road, what is that like basically just in a day-to-day where you get back early kind of in the week and then this upcoming week we're going to have to head out around Thursday and just kind of what's that like for classes, practice, kind of that whole type of situation when you got to make those big road trips?
I mean, usually we're pretty excited about missing the class, so
relatable.
If everybody was honest, they would give that answer, so we do appreciate that.
Yeah, but I mean, usually the practices are only one day where we go, and they tend to be pretty short, and at the end of them, we usually just get shots up there, so because he doesn't want to kill us before the game, so it's not too bad. And the hotel rooms are usually pretty nice. We have our own like queen king size bed, so nice. It's not too bad.
Yeah, for me, all my classes have been online since I've been at Ferris, so I don't have to ever worry about missing class because I just do it online. But it's definitely like you said, practices aren't as bad once we start traveling and whatnot. And you try like the way it sets it up like helps us a lot out like with our bodies and whatnot. We're able to get treatment after and like you said, we do like a 30-minute workout after if you can just to sharpen your skill and whatnot.
Do you guys have consistent roommates for the hotels or does it kind of change up every time?
It changes up every time, most of the time, yeah.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, cross country, we have the same guys all year, so that's very interesting. When it comes to road trips, are you guys music guys? Like to just kick back, put the headphones on, like to watch movies, hang out, talk with your teammates, or what's kind of the vibe on the bus on the way up to a road trip, like to Houghton or to Marquette?
Yeah, the bus it's different every trip just because like just the vibe and whatnot, but like there's a lot of like we play games on our phones like together. Like for example, Uno. We play Uno together sometimes.
Oh, okay.
Or like you just listen to music. Sometimes like last when we were coming back from Ohio, like a couple of us were watch some NBA games on Dang's computer. Shout out Dang, by the way, that's my dog. Yeah, so we always just try to hang out together, do stuff together. Like Ethan and them, like I know Vegas and them, like they play like this game on their phone. I forgot what it's called, but like it's like a trivia game or something. We just do a lot of stuff together, like so that we definitely have good vibes in there.
Yeah, I would say to start the road trips usually because we leave pretty early. There's not much talking. Everyone's just listening to music, sleeping, and then as soon as or after we eat, everyone's just full of energy, talking to each other, having a good time.
Yeah, for sure. And I guess my counter question, you guys are obviously a very competitive group as it is, but does Bronkma participate? And if so, does the energy level go up +10 in some of these games like Uno? Is he participating in Uno in some of these games?
Nah, not yet, but I'm working on it. I'm trying to get him in there one time.
He's pretty quiet on the bus usually. He sits in the front, we're all in the back. So
okay, right on.
Yeah, that usually happens. I mean, obviously on the bus, well, what's he kind of like on road trips? Is there much of a difference how he's kind of acting kind of before the games or anything like that? Or what is Bronx like on the road?
I mean, he's full of energy, always like locked in, always focused. Like he lets us like goof around and lay up line, like get dunks up, get our energy up. But like you can just tell when you look at him, you know he's locked in on the game and just trying to do everything he can to get a win, which is the main reason why a lot of us are here.
Yeah, I would say he kind of has a different vibe on the road, like because usually the fans will give us energy at home, so he doesn't have to. I think on the road he does a good job of making us be excited to play and try to get the win.
His pregame speeches are top tier.
Top tier. Yeah.
Get you ready to run through a brick wall, huh?
Literally.
Absolutely. Going outside of basketball even a little bit, what do you guys like to do to kick back outside of practice, outside of games where you're just, yourselves and not necessarily thinking about basketball? What are some of those hobbies and things you guys like to do on the off time?
This might be, I guess it's normal. I like to watch the sunset a lot. Like I'm a big sunset guy.
Okay, right on.
It's not a lot of people do that, but that's one of my favorite things to do is just go watch the sunset and just vibe, think about life. And then sometimes like we hang out, play Fortnite. I don't play often, but I like to watch.
Fortnite's the game now.
I like to watch.
OG map's back.
The OG map's back, yes.
Yeah, and then like the no building part, it looks fun because I mean I'm not the best at it, but watching is always fun for me. And then we just watch movies, watch football, basketball together, and just hang out, talk. That's usually what we do a lot.
Right on.
I would say we've probably been on Fortnite 2 to 3 hours every day the past couple weeks.
I can relate to that. Who's the best Fortnite player on the team?
Ooh.
Not me. It's Cole Vickers.
Okay. Shout out to Cole then. All right. Right on.
And especially kind of going on top of that, I mean, off-season comes around. What's your guys' training regimen when it kind of comes to that? It kind of differs for every guy, especially you're not able to get in the gym as much. Kind of what is that like for off-season work for both you guys?
For off season for me, I mean, like last off season, we were here most of the summer, and we had like team lifts and whatnot with Andrew, and then we had open gyms, and we also had summer league games and down in Grand Rapids against like different schools out there. So it's definitely a productive summer for us. Like we always we have a list of stuff to do. Like even though the coaches can't really be there with us, but like they have a good way of giving us a program to stick with. And then like for me, I've had a lot of off seasons in college basketball, so like I tend to do some stuff on my own as well. But definitely the coaches help us a lot with the off season workouts and whatnot.
Yeah, the summer lifts kind of nice. I mean, it's kind of annoying being up here when there's nothing to do in the summer, but that gives us a chance to all hang out with each other and stuff like that. But honestly, it's fully on your own. So if you don't want to work out, like it's on you. Like, and obviously, you get what you put out of it.
Absolutely.
We all want to, so we do it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. One last question for you guys. Appreciate your time, and we wish you the best luck of this week. What's been your favorite thing about being at Ferris State and being a Bulldog?
For me, I'd say an opportunity to win at the highest level. That is like, I know I probably said that a few times already, but that is like the main reason why I'm here and I'm still playing. It's just because like, I mean, when I got done at Northern, I graduated with a bachelor's degree and I didn't have to go back to school. But I had 2 more years and I was just like, well, I didn't really win anything at Northern. And I want to have a chance to do it here. So why not? So I came here and this is my last year here and we have really big dreams, but we're taking it a day at a time, trying to stay level-headed and see how far we can go with it.
For sure.
Yeah, for me, I would probably say like the friendships with the other teams. I feel like most of us go to like volleyball, soccer, football, all these other sporting events, and they support us too. So that's a big thing here.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's huge. I mean, love to see that, especially that support in between the teams. Thank you guys so much for coming on, Lop. Ethan, good luck for the rest of the season, and can't wait to see you guys ball out.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Big thanks to the boys for stopping by. Joe, you only got 15 seconds, brother, so hit it.
Men's basketball versus McKentry, 5:30 Wednesday. Be there, be square. That's going to be it for the show. Thanks so much for listening. Till next time.
Take care, everybody.